All right, what's going on, guys? gdoggcasey here, and welcome back to another channel update. Today we're doing a video for the month of June, and we have some pretty exciting things to talk about. And the first thing we're just going to get right out of the way, right at the beginning here, is we hit 800 subs just a few days ago, and I want to say thank you so much to you guys. I really appreciate that. And I know in the whole grand scheme of things, 800 really isn't a lot compared to some other people, but you know what? It's way further than I really expected to get, and we are climbing relatively quickly here to the point where I've said this a few times already, but it's not, so unfathomable to believe that maybe one day we'll be in the 5,000 and maybe in the 10,000 area, and that's something that I would absolutely love to happen. So for those of you guys who are here and who watch some of the videos on a more regular basis, definitely thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. And I hope that occasionally you'll take the time to, share the videos with your friends. Maybe some of you have people who are playing Final Fantasy 14. Some people might be starting out because the expansion is coming out soon, and maybe some of them are tanks or healers. And I have some videos that will help them learn how to play their class a little bit better. And if you share that stuff around, I would greatly appreciate it. But nonetheless, I still appreciate it. Everything you guys already do. It's honestly just blowing me away. And I say that at the 800 sub mark. So imagine how it's going to make me feel if we can get even higher. You know what I mean? It's really crazy, and I am eternally grateful for all of you. So thank you so much. If we look at the last 28 days, we actually had a pretty large surge in subs this month, and I'm not even really sure what caused it. Most of the subs are just coming from the Final Fantasy tanking videos, just like before. So something happened. We are up to plus 54 right now. And just the other day I was looking at it and it was at plus 59. So it is, compared to last month where I think it was plus 36, it's a good sign for us. And, it signals growth, and I definitely am excited to see how far we can take this. So again, thank you very much. You guys know how appreciative I am of you guys taking time out of your day to watch videos that I make. And just makes me happy. So, I really appreciate that. Anyway, enough of getting on your guys' dick. You guys already know I'm happy on your dicks, but let's not do that all the time, right? So let's talk about something. So one thing I mentioned in my most recent healing video is I am actually taking a bit of a step back from Final Fantasy 14, but not for you guys who just watch the videos. You guys are not really going to notice too much of a difference, because I'm still committing to putting out the tanking videos and the healing videos and the DPS videos and the trial videos. Those are all Final Fantasy 14 related, and they are all still going to be coming out on a regular basis. So for those of you who don't actually play with me, you're not going to notice too much of a difference, except potentially that my characters are my classes, are leveling up a little bit slower than they normally would, because I am just spending my time when I'm not making videos, I'm spending that time just playing some other games, mainly the one you see in the background here, which we will get to in a bit. But just taking a bit of a break. I went into this in the healing video, but I'll repeat it again for those of you guys who don't watch that one. When you get to the end game and you get to the point where the expansion is just under a month away, and you are almost close to maxed out at eye level. My eye level was like 256 or something like that, and the maximum eye level you can get to, I think, is 270. So there's still room for improvement, but I'm basically there. And it's you grind dailies night after night after night, and what I found that was happening with me was that the dungeons were all just starting to sort of meld into one dungeon where, the trash pulls are all the same. The bosses, well, they have different mechanics. It still was just getting to be a little bit too much. It was starting to feel like a chore, and especially when I come home from work at 8 p.m., I have to scarf down my supper as fast as possible so I can get on and actually do my dailies before a reasonable time to go to bed, and then I do my dailies and then I go to bed. There was like nothing else, you know what I mean? And it was starting to become a bit of a chore. Now, I still love the game. I still love the dungeons. The dungeons in Final Fantasy, I almost said 7, Final Fantasy 14 are the greatest dungeons I've ever done, in my opinion. But when you do them night after night after night after night after night, it just was starting to wear me out a bit. So I'm taking a step back. The expansion is coming soon. I know a lot of people will take a step back before an expansion comes out. I'm basically doing the same thing. And when Stormblood hits, we're going to go back hard and get that story mode completed and do some other things. Now, that said, that is another sort of part of this update that I wanted to talk about, was that Stormblood will be out before I do the next channel update. We are pre-ordering it. We are going to get early access, but I am not going to be doing any super early Stormblood videos because it's just not me, at least not yet. You know, there are some channels out there like Mr. Happy and Famriel and some other channels out there that are most likely going to be just hitting YouTube hard with Stormblood content. And these guys, they're better suited for it than I am. You know, and I'm not going to try to dip my foot into that water just yet because it's not really my thing as of right now. Who knows, you know, in the future, if I start finding myself leaning towards those types of videos where, you know, I do like news and what's on this update, what's on this patch, that kind of thing. Maybe I can maybe see myself doing that kind of thing. But for now, there are already people who are better suited to doing that kind of stuff, doing it, and they do a great job. So it's not really something I want to get myself involved in when most people are just going to go to those guys anyway, right? So I'm not really going to be doing oh, Stormblood's out now, so here's 50 videos on day one about all the cool Stormblood stuff. I'm going to be playing it. I'm going to be enjoying it with my wife as a player first, and the YouTube videos will continue to come out, and eventually you guys will start to see Stormblood stuff. Okay, so I just want you guys to understand that, at least with my mindset right now. That is sort of where I'm going with that. But doesn't mean I'm not excited for it. Doesn't mean I'm not pre-ordering it. We're going to be jumping right into it day one. And I'm really looking forward to it. So let's move on to something a little different. The Final Fantasy VII stream. We've only got one session done so far because I just started it last week. So there's not too much really to talk about it. But for those of you who may have missed it, every Saturday night from 7 p.m. until 10 p.m. Eastern Time, I am doing a Final Fantasy VII stream, and we're going to be doing another one tomorrow. I'm recording this on Friday, so tomorrow we'll be doing another one, and every Saturday after that. And I got to say that it was a blast on the first day to get back into Final Fantasy VII. It's got me reliving some of that old nostalgia moments, some of those old moments, you know, meeting Ares for the first time and listening to all the music and doing the battles and just all that stuff. You know, one thing I've actually noticed, though, is that the dialogue is not quite as good as I kind of expected. Now, it's not really I guess it is a knock on the game, but it's not taking away any points from me for Final Fantasy VII, but I'm noticing that there's just some things that I'm like, that's just really weird. You know, the dialogue seems a little disconnected, but at the same time, I'm still excited to go through it and, experience it all again. And we definitely were getting some viewers last time, and it's really exciting to be able to play that game with other people watching. Some of them have not even seen the game. Some of them didn't even know who Ares was, didn't even know who Cloud was, that kind of thing. And it's like, it's really cool because if those people are going to be watching and experiencing it for the first time, I have a unique perspective of having played the game before, albeit years ago, and there's a lot of stuff I'm going to kind of forget. I already experienced some things that I hadn't seen before. Although those will probably be a little more few and far between, but still, there's some things out there that I haven't experienced in that game. And to be able to see other people who are watching it for the first time themselves and experiencing it for the first time, my wife also being one of them, is it's going to be really cool because once this stuff really starts to happen, I think these people are going to understand what all the hype was about, with Final Fantasy VII. And that doesn't, I'm not trying to take away from some hype from some of the other Final Fantasy games because the older I get, the more I realize that maybe Final Fantasy VII isn't actually my favorite out of all of them, but it doesn't mean that it's not a very, very good one. And once we're done 7, I really look forward to jumping into potentially some of these other ones as well and building a little bit of a community around, these older games. So really happy with how it went for the first session so far, and looking forward to do the second one and the third one and the fourth one and however many more it's going to take to get to the end of the game. One thing I had thought about, though, is I'm not going to be like absolutely 100%ing the game because of the fact that it's going to include just a shit ton of grinding and stuff like that. It's not really, good for content, but we will do everything that's reasonable and everything that I can remember and almost everything that people want to see. So, stay tuned for that. Those videos are being chopped up and put up on the YouTube channel as well. I'm sure you've seen them coming out. We already got 5 or 6 out at the moment, so we'll continue to see more of those as we go. All right, and that leaves me with StarCraft 2. I was going to do a little bit of talking about iRacing, but I'm starting to run out of time, and that stuff wasn't really all that relevant anyway. I just wanted to make a quick comment about how last week's Charlotte races were incredibly long and just really drained like every ounce of energy out of me, and all I'm doing is sitting in a chair with a steering wheel, and after 400 laps of Charlotte twice, one night and then the next day, it was just like I needed to lay down and sleep for like 2 hours. It was crazy. Anyway, that's that though. StarCraft 2 has re-entered my life once again. It always does. You guys are seeing some gameplay in the background. They just released a new announcer pack with Tastosis, which is basically Tasteless and Artosis are two of the most famous StarCraft 2 announcers. They do the GSL, which is where the top players of the whole world play in a tournament to see who's the best. And it's been, they're basically the best casters out there. It's sort of unanimous between basically everybody who watches StarCraft. And they came together and made this announcer pack. So I'm going to make sure to leave some of this video with the actual in-game sound so you can hear some of it, especially the ending. The ending is like my favorite part of the whole thing. So stay tuned for that if you want to hear it. If you have any interest, it's really cool. But this is basically what I've been spending my time doing when I'm not playing Final Fantasy XIV, is getting back into StarCraft. So I'm not committing to anything just yet. But something that will help me commit to something in terms of making video content for StarCraft 2 is if you guys want to see some of it, leave some comments down below. I know some of the people subscribed to the channel are subscribed because of the old StarCraft stuff I used to do. So if there's any interest for anything like that, I can make some room for it and show you guys at least something. Maybe I'll cast some games. Maybe I'll show my own gameplay. Not 100% sold yet, but it is something that can potentially be in the near future. So if you guys want to see that kind of thing and you leave comments about that, it's only going to make it more of a thing. Okay, well, that's going to do it for this update, guys. As always, I really appreciate every last one of you. It's just such an amazing hobby to make videos for YouTube and to be able to make a little bit of money from it and, to keep growing and growing. And who knows, that dream is alive still, to be able to spend more and more time making videos for you and make it more of a job than just a hobby. And you guys already know that's what I'm striving for. So you guys are helping me do that, and you don't know how much I appreciate it, despite how much I say so. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much. Stay tuned for videos for all throughout the month, and we'll do another channel update video for the month of July. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.
Evolution complete. Mutation complete. We're running out of minerals back home. Your forces are under attack. Geysers empty. Your forces are taking damage.
A new queen has emerged.
That field's been mined out. Hope you have an expansion.